Hello, my name is Tanner, and today I will be presenting malware. Malware is a software that is particularly designed to gain access to or damage a computer, usually without the consent of the owner. Different types of malware include viruses and worms, which are both considered infectious malware, Trojan horses, which is a malicious program that misrepresents itself to appear useful, ransomware, which is considered the most devastating malicious software, adware, which is considered an ad-supported software, and spyware, which constantly spies on you. Various different types of malware may lead to various effects, including a poor connection, the inability to shut down or restart your computer, send spam emails and files, and identity theft.
Hey, my name is Casey, and I'll be presenting Stuxnet, which is a real-world example of malware. Stuxnet involved a USB flash drive that infected the software at a nuclear facility in Iran. There was speculation about Stuxnet being a politically motivated project between the U.S. and Israel to slow Iranian nuclear efforts. It was in fact released later that the U.S. was responsible for Stuxnet. Stuxnet was described as the first digital weapon of geopolitical importance. Malware includes many risks, which include efforts to access and exfiltrate data that contains sensitive and or classified information, disruption of operations, and customer attacks. The categorical risks involved with malware include reputational, regulatory, financial, and legal.
My name is Davion, and I'm presenting on controls. And as stated by Casey and Tanner, there's various different types of malware, and there's various different types of risks. Those entail different types of controls as well. Some that we found interesting were software change controls, which are software put in place that will make sure that the software goes from the developmental stage to being complied with all of the organizational needs, and then making sure that that software is only used by authorized users to the point where that software can be tracked. Furthermore, there's controls over network periphery, which is a control that makes sure even more in depth it distinguishes between authorized and unauthorized personnel for certain files. And then we have vulnerability management, which is an operating system that kind of backs the previous to it. Also focuses on authorized personnel, but it makes sure that they can be enforced with automatic controls as well within the organization. Again, as stated, there's various different types of controls, and we got this off the IAA website, and what we found is that these controls go into 3 different categories. Preventative management controls, which are just controls that make sure that malicious attacks for cyberware and malware don't even occur. As stated before, vulnerability management, patch management, AV blocking, configuration management, different types of management for set of controls. Then we go into detective controls, which have different types of monitoring. And as kind of stated by the name, detective controls are trying to make sure that they can detect wherever malicious attacks do occur. And so that's why you have your database activity monitoring, compliance monitoring, operations monitoring. And then furthermore, you have your corrective controls. These are your controls that when you dive deep into it, are trying to make sure that they can diminish the effect of malicious attacks for malware, or make sure those effects have a net zero effect. You have your incident response, forensics, and isolation, and it need be, it can go down to administrative and legal action. Furthermore, as you can see, going from preventative to corrective controls, the threat gets a lot more complex, and so therefore they require more complex controls.
Hi, I'm Jill. An internal auditor can provide assurance and consulting services to an organization regarding malware by evaluating malware protections already established and determining effectiveness through controls. If an attack is initiated and the controls hold up, it's effective. If the malware is able to get past securities set by the organization, then internal auditors can provide advice on how to improve those controls and to prevent a future attack, and also continue to monitor those controls to make sure that they stay effective. And so some facts that we found or that the United States ranked 8th in malware attacks in 2012, 30% of all computers in the United States were infected, and South Korea ranked 1st in malware attacks with over 50% of infections. Are there any questions?